Listen, if we even think you owe us money, you won't know what hit you. We'll put liens on everything you own. Raid your bank accounts, retirement fund, pension. You'll open up your paycheck and cry because we'll already have the money. We'll haul you into federal court and you might even go to jail. Hey, it's our job.
Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. Our experts will fight for you using IRS guidelines to stop any IRS actions like bank levies or wage garnishments. Plus, eliminate penalties and interest and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a tax doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
I'd have my mom call the number on the screen. You come see me alone. We'll work it out. Really, we will.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. You can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, but you've got to call now. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Hey, AMP News Patriots, join us in saluting the unwavering heroes who rush towards danger and are always there when you need them. Presenting the First Responder 911 Foundation Challenge Coin, masterfully crafted by our artisans to pay tribute to our heroes. Own this beautiful memento of our gratitude for your support while celebrating their courage and their dedication. For only $29, you can support those who serve and protect. Secure your challenge coin today at firstresponder911.org. Order yours now.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company, like super woke.
When I grow up,
I want to be hired based on what I look like.
I want to be judged
by my political beliefs.
I want to be a conformist.
When I grow up, I want to be offended
by my coworkers and walk around the office on eggshells.
When I grow up, I want to weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
It's time to grow up and get back to work. Introducing the #1 woke-free job board, redballoon.work.
Hello, everybody. Mark Schaftlein with you, and this is the Schaftlein Report. It's Thursday's edition, broadcasting from beautiful Palm Beach County and from the great state of New York. Jeffrey, welcome back to Schaftlein Report. Happy to have you with me on this news-packed day today.
Great to be here.
Hey, listen, Happy New Year to you, Jeffrey. I know, a lot of people are moving to Palm Beach County. We're getting 800 people a day coming. I know you're holding the flag down in New York. Your brother Hannity came down to Florida, and I must confess, it's a great state to do business. But
Absolutely.
anyhow, let's get right to it. Listen, some devastating polling numbers have come out for Joe Biden, Jeffrey. Even in an unfriendly CNN poll, Trump is leading now 48-42. The liberal media is aghast at what's happening. They don't understand it. Jeffrey, shed some light on what's going on here. And I don't want to get our side overconfident because not a single vote's been cast yet. But when you see the sheer panic going on in the Democratic Party, and it's no longer whispers about what's the backup plan, it's now echoes, what's our backup plan? Jeffrey, what's going on out there?
Well, finally, other Democrats are complaining about the border. And that's a problem for him. I also think that inflation is still a problem for him. While the trend for inflation isn't that high, if you look at food, it's like 40%. And that's what people want. They want what's on their table. So I think those two things are hurting him the most.
I'm going to agree with you there. And it's not just food prices. I mean, utility bills, they went up 12% 2 years ago. They went up 6% last year. That's 18% in 2 years. Insurance costs are going up. Travel costs are going up. Education costs are going up. Cost of flying is going up. But the only thing that's come down is gasoline prices in certain parts of the country. Jeffrey,
The
this
other
race
thing
is
that's going up, Mark, is costs to buy houses. And people who want to buy their first houses are messed up. They can't.
Yeah, no, they can. That's really hurting among younger voters. Jeffrey, it's almost like the race is starting to take shape because the Trump side can run on the following: we will secure the border. Biden is like 23 points upside down on his border policies. And I think it's really worse than that. You know, it was no accident. 10,000 people a day streaming across that border. They're ending up in red states and blue cities. People have had enough of it. It's crystal clear that the administration does not want to secure this border. When reporters ask Biden about it, he goes, they need to give me more money. This man is not a leader. He is implementing a far left-wing radical agenda policy of open borders, and it's really hurting the Democratic Party, and that's why their party leaders are speaking out against this. On the economy, he's 21 points upside down. And people say, well, Mark, unemployment's low. Yes, it is low and inflation's come down, but it is still elevated. And as you said, Jeffrey, go to the grocery. There's more pain there than any place. You know, he's upside down on foreign policy. We started with the debacle in Afghanistan. Now we've got a war going on in Russia and Ukraine. We got the Israeli situation where even in his own party, he's upside down. You've got potential explosion of that war on the northern front in Beirut. You've got ISIS attacking the Iranians, and of course, they're going to blame the Israelis. My point is, Joe Biden is being defined by all these issues, Jeffrey. So what's he going to try to do? He's going to try to shift the blame to Trump. It will not work as an incumbent president. Incumbents, Jeffrey, as you're well aware, they're judged by their record, and his record's atrocious. I mean, he may want to come out and talk about January 6th. That's ancient history to most people. He may want to talk about how much of a horrible person Trump is, a threat to democracy. It ain't going to fly. Then he may want to talk about abortion. That may fly. But aggregately, you and I know it's pocketbook issues. And Jeffrey, you hit it on the head. That's what people are going to vote on.
And it's not. He's got to compare this year to Trump's last year, not this year to Biden's last year, because then it looks worse. Okay. And the other thing is when he talks about the border, he's got to say that Biden on his first day canceled all of Trump's border policies. His first day, and that's when the numbers went way up. That's the kind of thing he has to say. He's got to push that kind of stuff, not Biden this year versus last year. It's what Biden's done since he walked into the office. Well, he tripped, but other than that, what he's done.
Well, let me add some commentary to that, and I concur with what you said. I think this is a concerted plan on the Biden administration. I mean, they want to flood this country with illegal immigrants. They want to change the makeup of this country. They're hoping that somewhere down the road they can get these people to become democratic voting citizens of this country, remake all the laws, change it from the republic that it is to who knows what. I mean, this is not happening by accident. It is being supported by radical liberals in that White House. I don't even believe Joe Biden's as radical as some of these policies, although you wouldn't know it if you hadn't seen it with your own two eyes. Jeffrey, his polling numbers are down at the Jimmy Carter level. And I know the White House tries to shrug it off, but the fact of the matter is both Democratic pollsters and Republicans. This isn't just Newsmax and Fox News polls. This is CNN polls, Monmouth University polls. I mean, it's a wide variety of polling groups. And we're not talking conservative outlets here. Everyone is coming to the same conclusion. Biden will lose if he's the Democratic nominee. Now, I'm not firmly in that camp because there hasn't been a vote cast, polls change, and I know my own name, they're going to try to make this an election about Trump. I was around, I hate to date myself, but I saw when Ronald Reagan pummeled Jimmy Carter. I saw when Democratic challengers utilized similar strategies to Biden. They all lost. When an incumbent cannot run on their record and they try to go into the history books and paint and tar their opponent with something negative, Jeffrey, rarely does it work. Do you see any evidence that some of these analysis could be wrong?
Not this election, but you know how they're trying to get all the immigrants, all the illegal immigrants into Texas, and we say there are 8 swing states. What if there was a 9th, and it was like the second largest state in the country?
Yeah, I don't believe that's going to happen. I think the people of Texas. Yeah, I think they're repulsed by what they're seeing down at the border. They're having to experience it daily, what Americans, are seeing on their television sets. But I saw an elected official in the state of Nebraska saying the illegals have overwhelmed our state. They're everywhere because they're sending them out of Texas into the heartland and into those blue sanctuary cities. So, Jeffrey, I actually believe this border issue is going to be, everybody says the economy's issue number one, and it probably will be. But I got to tell you something. Most people believe a country should have a border, whether you're a liberal, a moderate, or a conservative. I mean, only the most radical liberals, which seems to have taken over the Democratic Party, seem to be in that camp of completely open borders everywhere. I don't know. But I do know this. It's a big problem.
I got a question. When did illegal aliens become migrants?
That's a good terminology. You can call them illegals, you can call them migrants, you can call them whatever you want to call them. But the fact of the matter is, they're illegal immigrants coming into our country. Look, the state of California is trying to get health insurance for them. I mean, it's just astounding, all the issues that come with this. And look, here's a good example. Look at what happened the other day. Republicans basically had a media event down at the southern border at the Eagle Passing and Eagle Rock, or whatever it's called. And there were hardly any border crossings that day. The cartels knew there was going to be a press conference, so they held back. The minute the Republicans leave, boom, they're back again. Hell, there were some Republicans joking, well, maybe we need to come down here and do this once a week. We'll be able to limit the border crossings by having press releases. I mean, if it's that bad, it's a political event. This is purely political. The Biden administration has the ability to stop this. Look, Representative Cuellar from El Paso, he was asked about Title 8 and Title 42. Title 42 was Trump's policy. He goes, Title 42 doesn't go far enough. We need to go back to Title 8. And I've heard various solutions, but I'm telling you, Jeffrey, I get a sense from traveling around the country, people are ticked off about this. They're ticked off about the economy. They're ticked off what's going on overseas. And they're tired of looking at a frail 81-year-old non-leader. And I think people are going to be ready for change. And if it's Trump, so be it.
And if it's Biden, we're stuck with a cackling vice president that one day might be president.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. Well, we're going to take a quick break here, folks. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Trump's effort with the Supreme Court, the DOJ, and other Republican initiatives. Be back in 60 seconds.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company, like super woke.
When I grow up,
I want to be hired based on what I look like.
I want to be judged
By my political beliefs.
I want to be a conformist.
When I grow up, I want to be offended.
By my coworkers. And walk around the office on eggshells.
When I grow up, I want to weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
It's time to grow up and get back to work. Introducing the #1 woke-free job board, redballoon.work.
AMP News is now Patriot.tv.
We are here to defend democracy for the people.
Welcome back, folks. All right, in the news of the day, Trump attorneys have pushed this Colorado case to the Supreme Court, and almost every legal analyst that comes on the media, whether it be mainstream media, cable, streaming shows like this, are telling you the likelihood is the Supreme Court will take this case and they will overturn these ridiculous rules to keep American citizens from voting for the candidate of their choice. Jeffrey, are you in concurrence that this case will be overturned by the Supreme Court?
Yes, I just hope it's 9-0, because then they're showing that they really think it's stupid, that they're taking away the right to vote who they want from the people, because that's the basic thing.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. My guess is it may be 9, but it's probably going to be 7-2 or maybe 8-1, but we'll see. I hope they take the case and rule on it, though, because it's critical to save democracy. You may disagree with Trump if you don't vote for somebody else, but don't take away people's right to vote for someone of their choosing. Here's another amazing case. The Justice Department here in the state of Texas is doing all it can to prohibit these illegals from coming across, and they sue the state of Texas who's trying to prevent it. I mean, Jeffrey, this is upside down. I mean, the Justice Department should not be suing Texas. Texas is the one trying to keep them out.
Well, I mean, because they're not following the Biden policy. It's as simple as that. You would think their job was to enforce American laws. They see their job as protecting Joe Biden. It's as simple as that.
Well, I think you're right about that. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a new case that might hurt Trump. They found, and I haven't seen it proven, I just saw the articles, that he got like $7 million from foreign sources. And that's against the law. And if it's proven, that will be a problem for him.
Well, like all the other cases, let's see how it plays itself out. But again, we talked earlier in the show about some of the problems overseas. Jeffrey, we have the Israelis clearly with the upper hand against Hamas. They're taking out Hamas leaders in Beirut, Lebanon. It just came out that ISIS is the party responsible. They've claimed responsibility for the terrorist attack in Iran that killed over 100 people, wounded close to 200.
Biden wants to throw them a welcome black party.
Well, he may want to do whatever kind of party he wants to do, but the fact of the matter is ISIS killed over 100 people. We've had that experience in this country, not in this country, but in dealing with it overseas. I'm sure the Iranians were looking to blame the Israelis for that. So when word came out about ISIS being responsible, that took some of the wind out of that sail. But the fact of the matter is, Jeffrey, we're sitting on a situation where tensions are rising in the Middle East. There's already attacks going on in the Red Sea. This place is a mess over there. I just don't see how the Biden administration is going to be able to have a whole lot of influence over there. I mean, Right now, their aid package to Israel and Ukraine is stalled because of these border discussions. Now, will something come up? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But when you're sitting here basically begging the Israelis to not do what they're doing, and it's going on deaf ears, Jeffrey, the Israelis are prosecuting this war exactly how they said they would. So to me, this isn't a surprise at all. What say you relative to what Israel's doing?
Well, first of all, what started the problem is that American troops were being attacked, and Biden did nothing until yesterday. Okay, in terms of Israel, their job they see as getting rid of Hamas, not taking the Gaza because they don't want it, but getting rid of Hamas, and no one's going to stop them. Last time, France wanted to stop them, but this time they're not going to let anyone stop them again, and they're going to get rid of them. And that's the way it's going to be. And America's trying to stop them. What's his name? Blinken is going there today for the third time. It's don't try. It's not going to change.
No, I think American.
If Hamas comes out and say, if you stop, I promise we're going to get rid of all the hostages, Israel will stop as long as they get rid of the hostages. But until then, they're dead.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything stopping the Israelis at this point. They have the clear military advantage. They're utilizing it. I think a lot of people calculated the Israelis would not be willing to take casualties. Unfortunately, they have had to take casualties. There's been a lot of death, a lot of destruction. But Israel is sticking with its plan, and that is to eliminate Hamas as a terror threat in Gaza and maybe beyond. So I'm in your camp. I see nothing, no U.S. pressure, no French pressure. Nothing's going to deter the Israelis from executing their plan that they clearly stated. Not these weenie-eyed, protesters in New York City and Los Angeles and people that try to disrupt and pro-Palestinian, these knuckleheads on campus. No, none of that stuff is going to prohibit the Israelis from executing their war plan, and in my view, a completely justified war plan.
The only thing that'll stop Israel is Israelis. I got a lot of friends there that have children in the army, and they are devastated at what's going on because their kids are under fire. They have friends that are in a Hamas tunnel somewhere, and they don't like the Israeli deaths. And then you see all the Hamas deaths that they claim, and you don't know if it's right. They come up with their own numbers. Kind of like my old math tests.
Well, you're going to get condemnation from some people in the Biden administration. I'll tell you what that's all about. It's shoring up the far left wing of their party. Because, Jeffrey, when we go into the election, it's not just going to be President Biden against President Trump, assuming that both of them become the nominees. Robert Kennedy is floating around at 16% now, up a couple points from at the end of the year. Jill Stein and Cornel West are both hovering at 2%. That's 4% that's going to come out of Joe Biden's hide. There is talk that Joe Manchin may get in under the No Labels Party. Again, all of these alignments point in the direction favorable to Trump and the Republicans. However, based on what happened in the last election, vote early and vote often, Republicans are going to have to try to run up the score in some of these swing states to account for the possible risk of some shenanigans going on. So, folks, I don't want you to get overconfident sitting here today. Not a single vote has been cast yet, and polls don't elect presidents. But if I'm sitting on our side of the aisle, I feel pretty damn good about where we are. Now, things obviously can change. And It will. I mean, I think it's going to be the most volatile year in presidential politics, maybe dating back to 1968. What happened in 1968? Oh, that's right. Lyndon Johnson, he was not running in 1968. After Lyndon Johnson was coerced into not running. Jeffrey, do you think Joe Biden will be able to stand up to the people in his party that want him not to run?
Yes. Not because he can do it, but all the people around him will prop him up. You know, they'll like you said before, they're going to go after Trump, they're going to go after abortion, and now they're going to go after Israel because the liberal part of the party is pro-Palestinian and anti-Israel. So you put it together; those are three issues that the far left is going to, be unhappy with Biden about.
So let me get this straight. Biden's going to run on a platform of pro-Palestinian, open borders, abortion. Trump's a bad orange man, and he's an insurrectionist from January 6th. And oh, by the way, inflation's coming down, even though you don't feel it. That, my friend, is not a winning political strategy. So,
however,
it's just not.
He started the war being the most favorable president to Israel ever. Well, next to Trump. And everyone was rah, rah, rah. And the stuff he's doing now, no one knows. No one cares about.
It doesn't give you confidence when you see an 81-year-old man step up to the podium who will not answer a single question and whose press secretary lies every single day. It's tough. I can't stand it. Let me ask you this. We got a couple minutes left. Big news story this week. Harvard's president resigns. There's a lot of people on the left, Jeffrey, they're really ticked off that she resigned. They're saying, oh, it's a bunch of white men that caused this problem to happen. Oh, she shouldn't have resigned. No, she should have resigned. It should have happened earlier. And whatever pressure it took with those wealthy Harvard alumni, look, this is a school that's got a $50 billion endowment, and they still get money from the federal government. Why, I don't know. But apparently enough influential Harvard alumni have reached out to whomever the powers that be and said, enough is enough. This lady's got to go. And by virtue of the fact that she's black and had the shortest engagement ever as president of Harvard, now they're calling it racist. Well, I got news for you. I read Bill Ackman's comments on X, formerly known as Twitter, today. And Ackman's comments are, when you flip the coin on the other side, it's a racist policy if you're judging her more favorably than she should be based on the color of her skin. And you know what? He's right. She should have been terminated. She resigned, kept her salary. That's a pretty good gig. You can get paid almost $900,000 to teach history at Harvard. Jeffrey, you got a minute left. Give me your commentary on this whole fiasco.
Okay. First of all, if you think it was because of the anti-Semitism, you're wrong. It was because of the 50 incidents of plagiarism. And if you're a Harvard student and you plagiarize something, you're out of there in 30 seconds. And it finally caught up with her because they kept coming out with more. It was, the leaky faucet type. And that's why she was out. And then when you have people like Al Sharpton come and support her, well, to a normal person, that means she's more guilty. It had nothing to do with racism, okay? It had to do with her conduct as president. It's as simple as that.
Jeffrey, thank you as always for your commentary. Folks, we're out of time. Hey, Monday night, Michigan beats Washington. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. See you on Tuesday.
The world is about to shift. Banks are going cashless globally with the emergence of central bank digital currency, which will bring with it programmable money and the ability to turn on or off your purchasing power based on your digital social profile. It's like the equivalent of spyware in your bank account. You need to get out of the system with the world's safest and most private assets, silver and gold. Call Kirk Elliott, PhD, 720-605-3900.